Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ask Anything presented by Mosier Consulting. I'm your host, Angel Leon, Mosier's Director of Personnel. Today's episode is a special one as we have Craig Lippincott from the Indiana Sports Corp, and he's here to talk to us about the Indy Sports Challenge, an event that brings Indiana's companies together in the spirit of sports while also helping companies embrace company culture. We also have Mosier's Director of Office Managers, Camry Carter, who joins us to speak about why Mosier participates in the corporate challenge. Guys, it's great to have you with us on Ask Anything. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, so Craig, I'm going to start with you. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the Indy Sports Corp?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a sports commission, 501c3 nonprofit. Our role in the community is to actually go out and bid to attract major events to the city and the state. And interestingly enough, we were the first to create this industry. Indiana Sports Corp was the first sports commission founded back in 1979, and really were pretty revolutionary at the time, leveraging sports as a way to manufacture tourism and just drive awareness for our community. We aren't fortunate enough to have natural resources like lakes and mountains and beaches here in our city to really naturally drive a lot of that tourism. So our founders were pretty thoughtful in really leveraging what our community has been so passionate about for years, which is sports. You know, high school sports has been such an important part of the fabric of local communities here in the state. And so really just embracing what the spirit of sports can provide to a community and really utilizing that to go out and to drive industry and tourism. So our organization was founded in 1979. We're still the largest sports commission in the country. There's now about 500 communities that have an organization like ours. Some are housed within their convention and visitors bureau, but there are several like us that are standalone nonprofit organizations. We have 25 employees here at Indiana Sports Corp. And what we often will do is we will go out and respond to bids for major events like NCAA championships, Big Ten football, basketball championship events, or just large moments that we think can do a couple different things for the city, can drive tourism, can attract media attention that just helps shine a positive light on the city. And then whenever we host an event, we really try to find opportunities to leverage it to the biggest opportunity possible. And oftentimes that comes together by making impact with kids in the community. So creating clinics and curriculum programs that tie into these big major event moments, helping inspire kids to be either more active and fit or just these once in a lifetime opportunities and provide a special experience for kids around the state.
Well, Indiana is a huge sports town. I mean, it's a state. If you think about the history, the rich history that this state has with sports, I mean, from, of course, the major one, the Indy 500, the famed Indy 500 track, to our sports team, the Indiana Pacers. I mean, the Hoosiers. I mean, there's a movie called Hoosiers that a lot of people know about, and a lot of people come to Indiana where it was filmed to take a look at those venues. So, as you mentioned, sports tourism and just tourism in general here in Indiana has been booming, but bringing those events, lately, Big Ten titles, everything that you guys do for the community here in Indiana is definitely seen across the state. So you talked a little bit about this, but what has this meant for the community in Indy over the years? I mean, because obviously the impact, as you were mentioning, with children, with sports for children, that as somebody who grew up playing sports, that's a huge deal. I mean, I still remember, seeing the big corporations where I was, sponsoring these events for us kids, and bringing people to talk to us and do these huge events so that we could appreciate what the sport that you love playing means for those in higher age than what we were at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the clear-cut impact that I think most people see with these big events is the direct tourism, the heads in beds, as we say, those that are coming in to stay in the hotels, spend their out-of-state money in our state at our restaurants. Since our founding, the events that we've hosted have actually aggregated over $4 billion in economic impact for the city. So that's real impact for sure. And beyond that, it is, as you were saying, Angel, the impact that we're able to create for kids around the state through the programs. But then beyond that, I think an intangible piece that's just as important is the civic pride that these events instill within our residents here. The sports that we host, it is a common ground for so many people to come together, no matter, who you are, what your upbringing was. Sports unite people, and the point of pride that people have when we as a city or a state are hosting these world-class grand scale events that are seen nationally or even internationally when it comes to events like the Super Bowl that we hosted in 2012. If you live here, it instills you with a point of pride saying, we brought that to this city, and we really showed out positively. The feedback that we get oftentimes around these events from the media is so positive. And then beyond that, there really is some tangible impact that does have when it comes to our corporate partners looking to attract talent to the state, or potentially moving office locations from out of state to in Indiana. It really does play a difference to have that equity of, over 40 years of really showcasing Indy as a phenomenal downtown, a phenomenal host city. It helps in that attraction. So we do have a lot of strong relationships with our city and state partners, but then also partners throughout the corporate community, because what we do, it has that ripple effect beyond just the sporting realm here in the city. It's something that can drive impact to industries beyond just the sports and tourism.
Well, you mentioned the Super Bowl back in 2012. I mean, I listened to a couple of huge sports media moguls that came to that Super Bowl and that remember it fondly. And I've heard their stories a couple times being mentioned. So it does bring obviously national attention to the city, to the state, and on a good note. So that's very positive. But let's talk about the corporate challenge, because obviously it just happened here in Indy. And what are the benefits for companies in participating in the corporate challenge?
Beyond the main events that we attract to the city, we do have some events we own and operate, and they serve as fundraisers for Indiana Sports Corp. Corporate Challenge is our largest. We love this event at the Sports Corp. It's just so fun to be able to connect with so many different types of companies that participate in it, to bring folks together, smiles on their faces out there on site at the event, and then the competitive juices that naturally come out of people. It's just such a great event to be a part of and to host. But for us, this event has become even more important these last 2 years, especially since the pandemic. So much has changed for companies in terms of their working dynamics, how often their employees are able to interact. Just the company culture, I think, has been challenged in a lot of organizations here in the state, and really providing an opportunity for them to get their employees together purely for a day of fun. The ancillary benefits are that the event supports health and fitness, provides opportunities for individuals to, set goals and build towards those goals. The friendly competition certainly helps motivate people to get ready for the event day. And then on that health and fitness front, I do think the fact that it's a team-oriented event, every company enters one team in the event, and then the employees, they're viewing each other not just as coworkers, but as teammates. And so it creates some inspiration for individuals to want to do better, not just for themselves, but as they're representing their company and their team. And it infuses them with some pride for their company as they're wearing their team t-shirts out there on event day. So there is something very special, I think, to that, and the fact that we try to provide all the elements of the event, from the fun activities itself to a lunch, and we provide team headquarters for all the companies, so you have a place to rally throughout the day. We've really tried to take it beyond just a health and wellness event and make it more of a turnkey company outing opportunity for those that participate. And just going back to these last 2 years, it really has been rewarding for us to see the growth that we've had. In 2020, we were forced to go to a virtual experience, and we were pleased to be able to stay connected with a lot of our companies through that. Since then, we've carried on some of the virtual programming. I know your team has certainly taken advantage of those, the health and wellness webinars that we offered, and then the movement challenge, which is our way of rallying everyone to move as much as they can in the weeks leading up to the event. And then last year we had 75 companies participate, and we were just thrilled this year to have 103 companies that signed up and registered, and about 4,100 individuals that were signed up. And then beyond that, we encourage people to bring their family out there, and we have a lot for them to do too. And we estimated around 1,000 family members were out there on site too. So just such a fun way for us to connect with that audience, inspire that infusion of company culture and vibrancy within those companies, but then the health and wellness that naturally comes along with the event as well.
I want to say we should move the movement challenge for at least one more week. So add an additional week, because that was a lot of fun for a couple of weeks. So I definitely would vote to suggest to move it to a 3-week time frame before the actual day of the event. We had a lot of fun. I mean, internally, we have our own Slack channel about the corporate challenge, FYI. So we take this very seriously. Camry and Brian can attest to this.
I don't know if we can say we take it too seriously. I mean, I did come in second in the movement challenge with 80 miles walked, but I mean, who's counting? Who's counting? I'm counting.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why I say we should move it one more week is because the week before the challenge started, I had a great week in my walks in the afternoon. And so I felt robbed that I could not add those miles there to reach Brian's second place.
No.
But nevertheless, it's all right. Nobody here is complaining. But anyway, but seriously, it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're out there listening to this and you didn't participate this year, if you never participated, take a look at the Indy Sports Challenge, because it's very fun. And like Craig is mentioning, I mean, the camaraderie that builds between your people, your teams, especially the day of the event, is really great. You come out of there with great relationships between your coworkers, between people that maybe you don't necessarily speak to on a daily basis because they're part of a different team. So you don't know the connections that you're going to be able to make within your own organization. And so that in and of itself just speaks to how great this event is. But again, extend it one more week. It doesn't take that much.
I think now's a good time for a special shout out to Mosier's Division III Championship dodgeball team.
Yes.
Yes. We definitely did do the 5 Ds of dodgeball. So if you don't know what that is, Google it. So speaking of cultural, Camry.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us again.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Why? Oh, anytime. Why does Mosier participate in the corporate challenge?
Well, we do it because of the team bonding, in the camaraderie, just like you said, Angel. It allows us to get to know who we are working with better. Outside the office setting, there is less pressure to be on, and a corporate outing just provides a comfortable setting where you and your team can spend time learning about each other. A job is always better when you know and like the people you are working with. Another reason why we do it is that to boost morale and showing appreciation for employees. Everyone is just so busy in their work life and personal life. And there are just signs when your team's morale is just low, and you will want to address it before it gets worse. And that's how a lot of companies have turnovers. A day out with your team, it just creates a fun environment and some friendly competition. To me, there's no better way to release some stress than throwing a ball at someone at dodgeball, by the way, which we won first place in Division III. But overall, a day out with your team will make them talk about it for days. Their spirits will be high, and they will appreciate the thought that was put into all of this. I thank everyone that participated, and we just appreciate everyone for their effort in the corporate challenge. I came to work on Monday, and everybody was just raving about the competition and the cornhole competition. And my throat is still sore from screaming on Sunday, screaming for Team Mosier. So everybody just raved about how fun it was. I think last year we were rookies and we just didn't know we didn't know what to do.
And we were Rookie of the Year last year.
We were Rookie of the Year last year.
Also,
important to note. Yes.
Shout out. We're coming.
Yeah. So this year we just kind of knew what to do. We know what to expect. And for some reason, it was more fun. It was just no stress about it. Everybody just had fun. And I talked to a lot of people that I normally don't talk to at work, because a lot of people are working remotely right now. And it's just, I bonded with a lot of my employees. And lastly, it's just increased productivity at work. Positive work cultures are more productive. When your team is happy in the working environment and feel more comfortable with the people around them, there is a greater chance they will work hard and want to perform for the company. I've been with Moser Consulting for 5 years now, and after a few corporate outings, I have noticed some changes. We just all know each other better, and we just have stronger work relationships. And I highly recommend companies to do this because it's just so much fun. We just really get competitive, and we have our team t-shirts, and we all go and cheer each other on at each event. Like as a team captain, I was like on time with everything. 8:30 here, 9:30 here, 10:30 here, everybody go. Everybody's like sprinting just to cheer everybody on. And I just love how there was like 20 of us just following and running around with each other and just being really competitive. So I just can't wait till next year till we do this again.
Yeah, it's a great event. There you have it. Those are the benefits of having an event like this. It basically just brings your people together in an environment where it's fun. It's competitive still because you definitely want to beat the other teams like we did this year in dodgeball. So again, kudos to the Indy Sports Corp for putting this together. Craig, this is great. It would only make it better if we could have some sort of winter games. That's probably it. So
I
that way
like
we can
that.
have.
This is the time of year we accept feedback from all the participants. So be on the lookout for that survey. Sounds like, Angel, you have quite a few ideas for the future of the event. So please submit those for us.
Listen, I'm all for adding more fun to the workplace. That's why I work in HR. And if we can build it, if you build it, they will come. So I'm sure that if we find some sort of winter type of events, we could probably have another sports challenge here in the winter.
That's great.
I do have a technical question. I mean, we were the dodgeball sponsors and then we won the dodgeball tournament. So would it be fair to say that we own dodgeball? Is that a fair statement?
You can say that as much as you want within your office walls. I think we're going to try to keep that pretty quiet. We usually don't like our sponsors to be the winners of the events. People think there might be something happening behind the scenes there, but if anyone saw, I think they know you earned your dodgeball championship fair and square. So
yeah, if anyone's upset by that, they're more than welcome to try and come take it next year.
Yes, bring it on.
Yeah.
There you
Bring
go.
it on.
The gauntlet's been thrown down. I like it.
Yes. And with that, that's a great segue to the ending of this podcast. Craig, Cambry, it was great to have you on Ask Anything. Thank you again. And we're joking, but we will surely be on next year corporate challenge. If you're out there and you are not participating in this, go. There's also several categories. So it doesn't matter how small or big your organization is, you can participate. This is a great event. Even if you have 10 employees, bring all 10 of them. They're going to have a great deal of fun during this event. So Craig, Cambry, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening in to this week's edition of Ask Anything presented by Moser Consulting. We hope you enjoyed listening to Craig Lippincott and Cambry Carter talk to us about the Indiana Sports Corp and the Indiana Sports Corp Corporate Challenge. Join us next time when we continue to dive deeper with our resident experts and what they're currently working on. Send us your ideas or topics via our social media feeds. In the meantime, please remember to give us a rating and subscribe to our feed wherever you get your podcasts. Until then, come and try to get our dodgeball championship. So long, everybody.
Go.